With a mom who is making national headlines and sparking a movement in her local community. What started as a routine trip to Payless with her 3 kids for summer shoes ended with an amazing act of kindness. Please welcome Carrie Jernigan.
Carrie, how are you?
Good.
Oh, boy.
Okay, welcome. We love stories like this, by the way, because even reading a lot of this made me very emotional. So why don't you start by telling everyone what happened at Payless?
Well, like you said, it started with just a routine trip to the mall. My kids and I needed some summer shoes. So I've always tried to hit Payless, being a working mom. And we went in there and we were just loading up on some shoes because it was going out of business. And we got our shoes and we were sitting at the checkout and we were checking out. It was a madhouse in there. Shoes were flying everywhere. And that's when my eldest daughter walked up to me and she was carrying a box of shoes. And she said, "Mom, do you care if we grab these shoes for a kid in my class?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And she went on to say that his shoes, she had noticed, were too small. And so I said, "Sure, do you know what size he wears?" And she said no. And I kind of turned to the clerk who was listening to this and jokingly said, "We might just have to buy out the whole store." And we laughed, and that's when you could tell she just kind of said, "Would you be interested?" And I said, "Maybe. How many shoes are left?" And she says, "I really think about 350. And so I said, "Okay, here's my number. Call me if it works out." Well, within an hour, the manager is calling me, and after some wheeling and dealing, I'm buying those shoes. And we came back the next morning. They said, "You got to box these up and get them out of here," because they were closing down. And we get there the next morning and a new shipment had come in. And they hadn't even talked to me about buying them or anything. And that's when I thought, you know, what's in there? And so that's when we learned that they were almost all kid shoes. And so I just said, I've got to figure out a way to make this happen. So 12 hours later and 95 big boxes of shoes and a huge trailer, we went home with approximately 1,500 pairs of shoes.
Wow.
And then what was that transition to your next thought of what am I going to do with these 1,500 shoes?
You know, I live in a town that it's where I grew up, it's where I graduated, and now I'm the local school board president.
Awesome.
I have 3 small kids, and it's a wonderful town, but we have a high poverty rate. And my immediate thought was back to school. And I'm in those schools, and I see those kids that we have such hardworking parents where I live. And I think once you buy back to school shoes, backpacks, school supplies,
It adds up.
It does. I mean, think of $50 or more per kid. And I just see parents that have to say rent and food, or my kid's going back to school without a backpack and without school supplies. And I thought, if there's any way I can make this happen, we're going to do it.
And I have to ask you, Carrie, I have to ask you financially, how are you doing this?
You know, when it first kind of went out there, I thought everybody's going to think I'm this extremely wealthy woman who just went in and said, "I'll take these shoes." And that's not it at all. This was a big purchase for my family. And I think the deciding factor, as I said, I'm just a working mom, but I just thought, I've got to make this happen. And we were actually leaving on vacation the next day. And I had been booking restaurants and, you know, a snorkeling excursion. And I thought, if I can afford that, I can afford a way to make these shoes happen.
Yeah.
And we cut back. We had a little other trip planned this summer and some things, and we had to cut those out, but it's not been any big deal. I think if you would ask my daughter.
Look at your girl right there, gorgeous.
We haven't missed it at all, and this has been the most rewarding purchase I think we've ever made.
Well, you talk about the new shoes for kids coming back to school and the backpacks. What does that mean to these kids?
you know, I always go back, and I'm sure everybody else remembers how you felt on that first day. You had your new outfit and your new shoes and your backpack with your glitter binders, and you just felt good. And what I always tell people, I said, you know, when you look good, you feel good. And so when I think back, I think if we can make these kids walking into school feeling good, looking good, proud of how they're looking, they're going to have better grades. Their attendance is going to be better. Their overall learning experience is just going to be better. And so it's shoes, but I am telling you, kids walking in with new shoes, they're going to be there and they're going to be able to learn better.
And I love, and I love that you brought your daughter here because you kind of started this whole movement right here. So, you know, very, very, you know, but that comes from how she was raised from her parents. So
And I think
that's awesome.
Just to really quick piggyback, the more bigger than these shoes and these backpacks is that you're going to be turning kids out into the world that have learned at such a young place that it's our duty to other people to give back and help. So it's so important. Thank y'all.
So we're gonna take a little break, but when we come back, we're gonna hear how Carrie's kind gesture inspired her entire community to come together and make a huge difference for hundreds of people.
Plus, her daughter Harper is here, and Harper started the whole thing. So I want to ask you, how does it feel that your one act of kindness has kind of, you know, multiplied?
Well, it feels good. It feels like our family has done something just perfect for the world, and so it's just spreaded so far, and I feel just happy for the kids who are gonna get the shoes.
That's awesome.
Now tell us about the event that you have planned in your community.
Well, so, you know, kind of what we go with, we have a family motto, and, you know, where sometimes people say, I love you, going back and forth. We say, be nice and kind. It's what we say every time we get out of the car and all that. And, you know, it's two simple four-letter words, but if you think about it, it embodies everything that I want to be. I fail at it daily, but it's what I want these kids to be. And so from this little thing, our community has created a huge event, and it's going to be on August 10th, and of course we're giving away shoes, and we've got socks coming, some backpacks, and we've got free haircuts and eye exams, dental exams.
Wow.
A ton of books. Yes, so we are actually working. We were working this morning. We are trying to get school supplies. We just want every person, we want to load their backpacks. So we've got about 10 days left, and we are spending all of that 10 days working on trying to get as many school supplies as we can. So we are like trying to get any donations or anything. And I just have this fear that there's going to be so many people show up and we have to send people away. So I don't think we're going to stop till we have so much stuff for that event.
Well, it's amazing. Everybody in the community stepping up. All this happened from one pair of shoes for one classmate. And we wanted to get a little gift for you guys in your community, but unfortunately, we couldn't fit the gift into the studio. So we want you guys to take a look outside, as you can see on the screen back there. And we want to say, you're going home with an entire truck of back-to-school supplies worth $30,000 thanks to our friends at Staples.
Amazing what you did. It's amazing.
We wanted to do what we could.
It's amazing.
What you've done is amazing.
It is.
Harper,
It is.
it's amazing. Give me some. There we go. But, you know, we wanted to do our part, and thank you to our friends at Staples. We were able to do that. Like I said, the truck has $30,000 worth of supplies for you and your community. So enjoy every bit of it because you and your community deserve it. And your one act of kindness is inspiring to so many of us out here. We're just glad we can be a small part of it.
Y'all don't know what this could do to the kids in my community. We don't have the ability to do things like this, and I can tell you from the bottom of our heart, Alma is thankful. Thank y'all.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.